Good evening. Welcome to day 12 of Advent 2021. And tonight, we've got two things going on. Today happens to be David's birthday. So I took him to, and my granddaughter's birthday, but I took both of them, you're not going to get film footage of my granddaughter, Kennedy, but we went with her and her parents to the mall, and she got to drive one of those electric cars around. Plus, we went to the Tree of Giving, and she picked out some stuff for another child her age. And then after that, I took David out to lunch at a tapas Spanish restaurant in Vancouver that overlooks the river. So you're at the beginning, you will have already seen this. You get a little footage of our intro page, and then you get to see David at his lunch. So now you know what that is. Tonight, though, we are going to be making icebox cookies. Now, I don't know. I got this recipe card file when I was 10. I saved up box tops back in the day because shredded wheat used to be my favorite cereal. I don't even eat cereal anymore. So that's where my shredded wheat box comes from, and it's where I keep all of the recipes I've collected over the years. One of the favorite ones from my mom and I think my grandmother is icebox cookies. And you can tell how popular it is by the schmutz on it. Another thing, when you go into stores and you see cookbooks, check for the used cookbooks. Check for the dirty pages, because that's where the good recipes are. Icebox cookies. These take 2 days to make. However, you're lucky because my first video didn't work. And therefore, I've got the first batch in the fridge already, and I'll be able to do the entire cookie making extravaganza from beginning to end because I have some refrigerated right now. What I'm going to do is use the KitchenAid and put in my sugar and butter. So we have 1 cup of brown sugar at the bottom here, 1 cup of granulated sugar at the top. So I'm going to put all that in. 2 sugars, 1 cup each. And then I have softened 1 cup of butter. Let me double check. 1 cup of butter. I've softened it. It's going to go in. Boy, this is difficult to get this in here with this big jar. I put it in a smaller container before. There. Let's get all that butteriness in. Now the recipe, interestingly enough, calls for shortening. I no longer use shortening. Health-wise, I mean, that's why we don't eat flour now too, is because, you know, we're sensitive to it. And at the same time, we've also sort of given up all of those odd, weird vegetable fats that we used to eat so much of the time. Now, you could, if you're dairy sensitive, you could totally use coconut oil on this. I may have to get some help from David here because it doesn't look like I've put this bowl in correctly. It's tipping around. Let's hope it's... Ah, there we go. I fixed it myself. All right, so I'm going to cream my butter and sugar now. Spatula. Oh, I took my spatula away. Let's get that, scrape the sides. Make sure it's all incorporated in. Now, this KitchenAid, we've got a blade with rubber edges, so it makes it really nice to mix cookies because it's kind of self-scraping. You don't have to scrape too much except at the top of the bowl. Cream this well. All right, so we have our creamed ingredients. Next, I need 4 cups of flour, and this is old US terms, not by weight. I'm going to use the old container. Continuing to use gluten-free. This is a regular flour recipe, so it will be yet another experiment as to whether we can just do a one-to-one transfer on all these cookies. The einkorn worked relatively well last time, but not perfectly. So I'm trying to pick cookies that don't need a lot of body or gluten to them. And I'm hoping that this is another one of those, because this is a, so we have 2 cups of flour, and we're gonna put in, come on, okay, 2 cups of flour, and I'm gonna put in an egg, 2 eggs. I have a 3rd egg here, but I'm gonna mix it a little bit and then put in more. I'm going to put in, just put these in my recycling tote. And then I'm going to put in a teaspoon of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1, 2, a teaspoon of salt, this doesn't come out easy, so we're going to do this in parts. There we go. Teaspoon of salt. We're going to put in a teaspoon of cinnamon. Oh, and this is half a teaspoon. So I need 4 of these. It's a good thing I checked that. I need 4 of these. Let's see. I put in 4, I need 4 more. 3, 4. I need another one of these. There. And then I need 2 of these. 1, 2. And that's the oven telling me it's ready. I'm going to do this over the cup because of that. This is nutmeg. And I do highly recommend grinding your nutmeg. There. It spilled into this cup. That's about right. I do recommend grinding your own nutmeg. I had one that I loved and I used to grind. I bought the nut and I kept it inside. But I think I gave it away to one of my kids because I don't have it anymore. I've got the soda, I've got the eggs, I've got the nutmeg, I've got the salt. Also, a teaspoon of vanilla. And this vanilla is vodka with some vanilla pods made scratch. There, a little extra vanilla. Booze makes everything better, right? There. So there's that. Ooh, the vodka, sweet vanilla vodka. All right, all that. There's just 1 more egg that needs to go in here and 2 more cups of flour. Two more cups of flour. Be small eggs, so I may put a 4th in here. I'm gonna have a look at the dough. There's our 4th egg. Again, I'm gonna put this in the recycling. Wash my hands. There we go. I think it could use another egg. I'm going to put another egg in there. One more egg, just to give it a little bit of softness and weight, and it may be the key to our gluten-free issue as well. Very firm dough. I'm going to give the egg a chance. And you are supposed to sort of alternate adding these ingredients, and I may have just put a little too much in at once. Let's give that another roll. There we go. Oh, much better. All right, so we have our dough. We have our flour and everything in it. Next thing we're going to do, just clean up my dishes, because the next thing we need to do is get out some parchment. Now, we never stocked parchment in my house growing up, so I always used wax paper for this part, but parchment works fine. I'm going to divide this dough up into 3. Oh, and I used put my spatula away too soon. Get a fresh one out, because I'm going to need to clean this off. There. And I'll definitely put this recipe in the info below. There's the dough. It pulled itself off quite nicely though, don't you think? There. And here is our finished dough. And I'm going to divide it into 3 pieces. You man. There, and the 3rd piece. There we go. And roll them into a log. So, just like we did for the shortbread, put these into a log. Now, as I remember as a kid, that we made these quite small, but that could be because I was a child and my mom wanted to get as many cookies for her work as possible. There. Log 1. This is a little bit bigger. Second log, and our 3rd. There we go. And our 3rd log. And of course, the rounder you make these, the better. All right, we have 3 logs ready to go into the refrigerator overnight or for 3-4 hours. But in the magic of TV, I have 3 that are done. So I'm going to tidy up a little bit and then I'm going to show you how to get these in the oven. We have 1 cutting board. We have 1 not clean sharp knife. 1 clean sharp knife. One sharp knife. And we have our very firm log. And this is very firm now. And all we're going to do is slice this into medallions. Get it on a lined cookie sheet. I like these Silpat style ones. I don't think Silpat is the only brand anymore. But slice them into about 1/4 inch rounds. And mine are not perfectly round. I can squish them a little bit and make them more round. There. We'll make those a little better. If you're worried about uniformity, you can use a ruler. But it makes a decent amount of cookies. And these are these are really good ones that I think would be good candidates for the freezer. Because you could pull it out, thaw it out in your fridge and have it ready to take to parties. Remember how we talked about that whole party thing last night and what you can do quick? Didn't even think about these. Although I knew at the time I wanted to make them. Looks like I got a little narrow there. I'm going to squish these together. And you do want this, like the shortbread, you want these to stay firm. That's the goal, is to sort of keep them somewhat cake-like. I'm a little oval now. Let's give them a little space. Actually, you might as well use the circles provided, right? Let's pull those off and wait for the next one. I don't remember how far these pillow out, but here we go. I'm going to put them into a 350-degree oven for about 15 minutes. Maybe 10. Don't remember. I'll have to look at my recipe. I don't think I put it away. Oh, here it is. Let's see how much. 10 to 15 minutes. Alright, let's get these on here. And I have 3 logs to bake up. But, I'll get these in for you. Well, I have 6 logs to bake up now. Each log is filling 2 trays. So plenty of cookies to make for yourself and plenty to give away. This one in as well. And set the timer. Do these sit side by side? No. Alright, just one at a time it is. Set your timer for 10 minutes. Timer. And I'll be back in 11 minutes and show you the final product. So we have beautifully round, and that is the beauty of this, is the uniformity you get from the cutting them. Makes great little round, and they're crunchy. These are not soft cookies, these are crunchy cookies. And I can tell you already that the gluten-free flour is working very well on these, because I'm pulling these off of here with no problem. Lovely. So definitely a gluten-free flour that is a winner recipe-wise. There we go. And they smell nice and spicy. So there you have it. Spice cookies. One of my favorites from my childhood. So I'm going to take this out with a video of the cookies, and probably David for his birthday eating a cookie. He's already had quite a few wheaty and carby things today, and he's going to get one more before he goes to bed. But I just wanted to remind you, as I do every week these days, is make sure you ring the bell and follow us and subscribe to the channel and like it and make comments. Hello, what are your favorite gluten-free recipes? What are your favorite cooking recipes altogether? I could try them out gluten-free. And we'd all get to have this, we'd all get to have the goodies at Christmas time. All right, see you tomorrow. Bye.